Welcome back. Today we will dive into one of the most talked about topics but still full of mystery in the history of the global entertainment industry. Not just speculation, but an in-depth analysis of the traces of closeness captured on camera or implied behind the scenes. Let's dissect the truth behind the relationship of the world's two great icons, V and Jungkook. Before we start, make sure you're ready to love this moments. Welcome to Taekook Velvet. The global music industry has produced many stars, but it is rare for us to find two individuals who have such a strong resonance like Taehyung and Jungkook. Since the beginning of the debut, the world has seen how the two grow side by side, creating a bond that goes beyond the definition of a normal coworker. Many wonder, what really happens behind the scenes when the stage lights go out? Their closeness often becomes the center of attention because of their sincerity that is difficult to fake, even in front of thousands of cameras that watch their every move. If we pull the timeline back, we will see an incredible transformation. From two young men who rely on each other in the difficult times of trainees, now they have transformed into two grown men who still keep a special room for each other in the midst of the hustle and bustle of popularity. One of the most frequently discussed points is how their body language speaks louder than words. The eyes that are full of understanding are often caught in brief moments, giving the impression that there is an inner communication that has been established for a very long time. The phenomenon of parallelism or behavioral alignment is also an interesting evidence. How their interaction pattern in 2026 seems to reflect the iconic moments from a decade ago, showing that the foundation of their relationship has not changed even though time continues to pass. We often see how Jungkook, the maknae, shows his protective side when he is near Taehyung. This is not just respect for the elders, but an instinct to make sure that his colleagues always feel safe and supported. On the other hand, Taehyung often becomes a figure that gives color and calmness to Jungkook. On various occasions, V seems to be a place for Jungkook to let go of the burden of his perfectionism and become himself completely. The secret behind this closeness may lie in the similarity of their artistic vision. Both of them often share similar musical tastes, film references, and aesthetic styles, creating a small world that only the two of them understand. The public is often caught up in a debate about their relationship label. However, if we look deeper, the label becomes irrelevant when we witness a friendship that is so pure and mutually reinforcing in the midst of a stressful industry. Their presence in recent public events has further strengthened the speculation. The way they choose to stand side by side or just give a small gesture like a pat on the shoulder sends a strong message of their unwavering solidarity. Not infrequently, the leaked behind-the-scenes moments show how much they are looking for each other when they are in a large crowd. As if, no matter where they are, their focal point will always come back to each other. Analysis of song lyrics or their solo work is often associated with this closeness narrative. Many fans find hidden details that are considered to be implicit messages to each other, adding an interesting layer of mystery to explore. We cannot ignore how the global media began to highlight this dynamic as one of the most influential power duo. Their influence is not only limited to music, but also on how people see deep interpersonal relationships. The biggest challenge for them is of course privacy. Living under a public microscope makes every little interaction can be interpreted in various ways, but they still choose to appear as they are without feeling awkward. The courage to keep showing physical closeness in a culture that is sometimes still conservative shows how strong their emotional bond is. They don't seem to care about the outside narrative, as long as they know what they really have. In several recent interviews, the way they mention each other's names with a soft tone of voice gives a picture of deep respect. There is no unhealthy competition, there is only mutual pride for each other's achievements. Often, we see them sharing the same hobby outside the official schedule. Starting from taking a short trip together to just spending time in the studio, shows that this relationship is nurtured with real quality time. For observers, the truth about their relationship may never be fully revealed verbally. However, for those who pay attention with their hearts, the truth has been clearly displayed through action and consistency over the years. Global fan support also plays a big role. Many feel inspired by how two people can support each other so sincerely, making their relationship a symbol of hope for sincerity in a world that is all artificial. Their journey to the year 2026 has proven that whatever storm hits a group or individual career, they are still anchors for each other. This power is what makes them unstoppable. If we dissect further, their interaction often has a very synchronous rhythm. The way they laugh at the same joke or react to the situation in a similar way shows how deep their level of understanding is. The most basic truth is that they have created a safe space for each other. In a world that always demands them to be perfect, they can be fragile and honest when together. No one knows for sure what the future awaits, but one thing is certain: the footprint they left in history as an iconic couple will always be remembered as an example of an outstanding relationship. At the end of this analysis, we are invited to see that their relationship is a combination of loyalty, love in all its forms, and commitment to grow together without leaving each other. In the end, exposed does not mean finding a scandal, but realizing that what they have is not just an ordinary closeness. It is a beautiful truth about two souls who find each other in the midst of the noisy world. Leave your positive comments here. The best comment will be pinned as a way to honor their love. Thank you to everyone who continues to support this channel. May God reward all of your kindness. This video reflects my personal opinion and interpretation. It is made for entertainment purposes only and does not represent confirmed facts. Welcome back. Today we will dive into one of the most talked about topics but still full of mystery in the history of the global entertainment industry. Not just speculation, but an in-depth analysis of the traces of closeness captured on camera or implied behind the scenes. Let's dissect the truth behind the relationship of the world's two great icons, V and Jungkook. Before we start, make sure you're ready to love this moments. Welcome to Taekook Velvet. The global music industry has produced many stars, but it is rare for us to find two individuals who have such a strong resonance like Taehyung and Jungkook. Since the beginning of the debut, the world has seen how the two grow side by side, creating a bond that goes beyond the definition of a normal coworker. Many wonder, what really happens behind the scenes when the stage lights go out? Their closeness often becomes the center of attention because of their sincerity that is difficult to fake, even in front of thousands of cameras that watch their every move. If we pull the timeline back, we will see an incredible transformation. From two young men who rely on each other in the difficult times of trainees, now they have transformed into two grown men who still keep a special room for each other in the midst of the hustle and bustle of popularity. One of the most frequently discussed points is how their body language speaks louder than words. The eyes that are full of understanding are often caught in brief moments, giving the impression that there is an inner communication that has been established for a very long time. The phenomenon of parallelism or behavioral alignment is also an interesting evidence. How their interaction pattern in 2026 seems to reflect the iconic moments from a decade ago, showing that the foundation of their relationship has not changed even though time continues to pass. We often see how Jungkook, the maknae, shows his protective side when he is near Taehyung. This is not just respect for the elders, but an instinct to make sure that his colleagues always feel safe and supported. On the other hand, Taehyung often becomes a figure that gives color and calmness to Jungkook. On various occasions, V seems to be a place for Jungkook to let go of the burden of his perfectionism and become himself completely. The secret behind this closeness may lie in the similarity of their artistic vision. Both of them often share similar musical tastes, film references, and aesthetic styles, creating a small world that only the two of them understand. The public is often caught up in a debate about their relationship label. However, if we look deeper, the label becomes irrelevant when we witness a friendship that is so pure and mutually reinforcing in the midst of a stressful industry.